key features on the platform with you today. We're just going to wait to see if anybody else wants to sign in before I begin going into the features. Please feel free to ask any questions. I'll be taking a Q&A period after I'm done explaining some of the features for you guys, and then I'm happy to answer the questions you may have and go through anything you might need just to make your experience better with this while you're getting your content. So, well, it's 11:01, so I'm going to jump right into it. Again, welcome. My name is Scott Wright. Thank you for popping by Crowd Content. Today we're going to cover three main topics in the webinar. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to teach you how to add funds to your account, load up credits that you can obtain or that you can order content with. Then we're going to move into creating a content order, and I'll go through the various types of orders with you. And then we're going to finish up with managing your content on the platform and managing your writers. And I'm just going to show you a bit about team building and some of the features around writers that you can use to get the best content and get the best out of us while you're on the platform. So let's jump right in and begin. So when you log in, the first thing you're going to see is your dashboard, and this is a place where you're going to be able to see who's working on what for you, where they are. You can see by this this ticker here that Rachel, it was claimed a couple days ago, and so she's writing on the content, or she's working on some content marketing tweets for us. And so let's begin. So the first thing you're going to do when you visit us is you're going to want to add funds to your account, and there's a few different ways to do that, but you're going to start by clicking the Add Funds button. It's going to take you to a place that'll give you our payment options. So here's all the major credit cards that we accept, and here's where you'll enter how much money you want to load up in credits to start off with. And so once you've entered the amount you want, you can click Continue. And here's where you can decide whether you want to pay us with the credit card or you want to use your credit card to load your credits, or you can use PayPal. So for this instance, we'll just click PayPal, or sorry, credit card. It'll take you to this screen where you can enter all your account information. You can also save the card on your file here. Handy feature if you're doing a lot of transactions with us. You don't have to keep entering your card number with each time that you're adding credits, and it just makes it a one-click transaction. You can add credits if your card's already loaded onto the site. So, and you can also do that with PayPal as well. So that's how you add funds. It's pretty simple. If you ever need to get any sort of documentation about your funds, or you want to know when you made a deposit, if you click on your profile button here, it'll take you into some account history. And if you look under deposit history, this is a place where it will list out by date and by the amount when you've made your deposits, and it'll give you a receipt number and a credit ID number for tracking purposes for you there. So just some information on how to obtain your deposit history while you're with us. So moving right along, I'm going to show you how to create a content order with your content credits now, and we do that by clicking the Create Order button. Instead of create the Click Order button, though, I'm just going to hover over the drop-down menu for right now. This explains the four major pieces of content that we create for the most part. So product descriptions, Facebook posts, tweets, and customs. I'm going to start with custom. Under custom order, well, almost everything except product descriptions and social media content will fall under custom order. So blog posts, web copy, emails, white papers, press releases, any sort of web copy that you need that isn't in those specific categories over here on the drop-down will go under a custom order. And so this folder's already been selected for us. I'm going to keep it there. And as an example, I'm going to go over a blog post order with you. So enter your title here. You may ask the writer to create a title for you, and you can use their creativity, or if you have one already, then you can name the content however you like. But for this example, I'm just going to say blog post for Alex Beauty Products, and that'll give the writer a heads up on what the topic is. Moving down the page, this is when you can get into the types of orders that we have here at Crowd Content. So an open order is going to send this blog post request out to the entire network of writers that we have. And so you're going to have a large pool of writers that is going to be able to pick this up and begin working for you right away. And when creating an open order, if you hover over the star levels down here, you can actually decide what price you want to pay, and only those starred writers will be able to pick up your order. So for instance, if I wanted a blog post of 450 to 500 words, and I only wanted to pay 8 cents, if you click on the 8 cents, it'll lock that in so that only the 3-star writers will be able to view and pick up the order and beginning writing. One thing to note with the pricing is if I were to pick a 3-star writing or a 3-star level for my blog post, the 4-star writers are still going to be able to pick up that order, but they're only going to be able to commit for the 8 cents per word instead of a 4-star price, which would be 12 cents per word. So that's when placing an open order, and that's your option to set the pricing. Because you're not going to know who picks up the order right away as an open order, this is just a way for you to budget the piece of content, and so you know exactly what the order will come to based on the word count. You're looking at $44 for this blog post. Some important information that you want to include here in the writer's instructions. We give you lots of room to give a description of what you're looking for. You want to keep this fairly short and concise. If you're looking for something 400 words, you know, you don't necessarily need to describe that in 400 words. Our writers are pretty creative, and they are going to do exactly what you put on this order form, so it's important to include all the pieces of information that you want. You can also put example URLs here, and you can add more if you need, but let's just say you needed a blog post for the Alex Beauty. You could include a URL example to the current blog post to give the writer a heads up on what you're expecting, what the expectations will be for that piece of content. So that's a really useful field right there that you might want to think about. Moving down the page, you can set reoccurring orders. You can set this to be weekly if you want. A lot of bloggers are blogging a few times a week, but weekly orders, bi-weekly orders, you can all set that in here by clicking on the scheduling, and then you can schedule what days you want to place the order with us. With this tool, I'll just let you know that when you select these days, that is not the publish date or the finish date. That's going to be the date that the order gets placed. And so you'll be looking at the day after for the content to be returned. So if you need a Monday blog post, you're going to want to place that order on Sunday so that your writer returns the content on Monday, and you can go ahead and publish on your blog if that's what you're doing on your site. Moving down the page, some really useful information is here under the advanced order options. Getting into some specifics here with regards to keywords, you can enter keywords here. You can add more if you need, as well as your target audience, the language that you'd like the content in. We are happy to say we are producing content in almost every language now, so if you don't see it on the list, that doesn't mean that we can't do it. It just means we haven't put it into that menu yet, but we're happy to create content in multiple languages for you. Point of view, turnaround time, voice tone, purpose. A lot of people use this here. This is a call to action within the content, so if you're looking for some savvy web copy or sales copy, you can let the writer know that you'd like a call to action within that content, and they will go ahead and put that in for you. Also, points to emphasize and things to avoid when they're writing. You can populate this here. If you don't want them to include any information, then that's definitely where you would put that. And then last, you can add a file or an attachment to the order. This is handy if you're working on style guides and you want to maintain a certain style within the content that you've been working on, whether it be an Amazon style guide or other. This would be where you attach the file to give the writer a little more information and a reference point if needed before they begin working on the project. And so that would be a blog post entry. You'd fill out all this great information. You'd click place order. You already know what your cost is going to be, which would be $44. It's never more than it says on the order form, so you know when you place the order just how much you're going to pay for that content. Just going to touch on the other types of orders while I'm in here. The other types of orders we have are team order and direct order. A team order would come into play if you had taken some time and vetted some writers, or if you've been working with writers for a while. You can place them on a team so that you know that you have a group of qualified writers in any given industry or vertical that can go ahead and complete the content for you. This happens a lot with specific industries, healthcare, finance, banking. You can go ahead and assemble teams on your account, which I'm going to show you how to do a bit later, and then you can create a team order and send it only to those pre-qualified writers, so you know exactly who's going to have the chance to work on it. A direct order would simply mean that you've created a relationship with your writer and you like what they have to say in their voice, and then you can go ahead and place direct orders with any of the writers on our platform, and then you know who's going to be creating the content for you. So those are the three order types within the custom order form: open, team, and direct. And that just allows you to send out the content to different people within the network of writers that we have here. Moving right along, I'll briefly touch on product descriptions. E-commerce platforms, this is a big part of content for them right now, is updating their product descriptions from a factory description, just to give it that uniqueness and a little more value on the page. So first thing you're going to be asked to do is select whether you want it rewritten or if you want it fresh. The general rules here are as if you have something to reference and you just basically want to freshen it up, then it's a rewrite. If you don't have anything to reference for the product itself, we'll consider that fresh, and the price will adjust accordingly, as you can see on the screen here. So for example's sake, we're going to click rewrite, and we're going to click standard 50 words. And so we'll click continue. The next page is going to ask you to upload your products, and you can do this several different ways. If you're with one of our partnering e-commerce platforms such as Shopify or BigCommerce, you can import your entire store here and simply select the product descriptions that you want rewritten, and the system will place those, will itemize those for you, so it'll save you typing everything into the order form that you're looking for. And in case you don't have a Shopify or BigCommerce store, here's where you can manually type in your products, include a URL if it's a rewrite or existing content, and you can list those out here if you have specific details that you want to include. The other option is a big time-saving option, and that is our CSV upload tool. And so if you have files in a CSV or an Excel or an XLSX file, you can upload your products in a spreadsheet, which is going to save you quite a bit of time with data entry. If you're looking at hundreds of products, this is definitely the feature that you want to explore, because it's going to save you a lot of time when inputting your orders onto the platform. So those are the different types, or the different ways you can upload your products into the system. And so I'm just going to fill out some information here, just for example's sake. We'll say Alex Beauty. URL we're not going to worry about because this is an example. Existing content, you would include an example or an existing URL there. Once you click continue, the next screen is going to be where you're going to provide the instructions for your product descriptions. So you can again decide whether it's going to the open network, your team, or a direct order to one writer. You can also adjust the word count on this screen, and you can see that the price will adjust automatically when you increase the word count, moving up in scale. The majority of our product descriptions come in around 50 words per description, and as such, the price would be $1.75. Down here is where you would input your instructions to the writer, giving them any additional information you need, whether it be about the ethos of your site, things that they want to include, and last but not least, you'd go ahead and place the order for a product description down here. And again, within about a minute, that would go out to the network and be picked up, and the writer would begin writing for you. So the other orders to cover would be Facebook posts or tweets. With social media marketing and being a big part of companies' marketing strategies, this is a big part of what we're doing also. The content type adjusts, as you can see, to Facebook posts, and these are done a little differently. These are done in batches of 10, and you can see that here. And for a standard quality Facebook post, we charge $225, professional being a little more at $325. Same things apply here. You can include your advanced order options, target audience. There's no keywords in the Facebook post, but you can include all the other pertinent information to the writer before they begin writing your posts for you. Very similar in the tweets. We're going to leave this page, go to the tweet page. Very similar. There's just a few character restrictions with tweets, and that's basically the only difference. They're sold in quantities of 10 as well, and the prices will adjust whether you choose a standard or professional. So that's order entry when you're going to place an order on the network. The last thing I'm going to show you today before we go into the Q&A is managing your writers on Crowd Content, and for that you're going to want to click on the Writers tab at the top of the screen. And this is going to give you an overview of our writers. So right now on this account there are 11 writers, and you can view those here. A couple things you can do when managing your writers or checking out writers to vet them on our platform. As you can see, it gives you the star level here of what the writer is, so that lets you know what they write for. So 4-star writer would be writing for 12 cents per word. Molly Allen here, we're just going to click on her profile. And this is some handy information in here for you. This will basically tell you how many orders she's completed, her career words with us, and then give you her ratings in the different categories that that Molly writes in. And you can see that she's getting very good ratings, almost 5 out of 5 in in almost all of the categories she writes in. So she's a very good writer with us, and very popular with our clients. You can see some testimonials there from some of our clients earlier this month. John from Denver thought she was excellent. Awesome, thank you very much. So that's always encouraged to give feedback to our writers, to let them know that they're doing a good job. And that also will go a long way with how fast they pick up and write for you moving forward. We definitely encourage building a working relationship with your writer while you're with us here at Crowd Content. Some of the other features you can use with your writers is you can blacklist writers. This is for, there's nothing bad here. All this does is it disables the writer's option from being able to pick up that order. And so if they missed a point in a piece of content and you don't feel it's a right fit, you can blacklist a writer at any time. You can also enter notes on the writers, how you feel about them, the work they did. You can categorize them. Here is where you would add them to a team. And so you can see we have an admin team. You can create a team and then simply check the writer from within the writer screen here and add them to a team if you wish. You can also favorite a writer. So if I favorite Molly, you can see now if I go to favorites, she's going to appear there. So if you like a writer, feel free to favorite them, and that will allow you to utilize them later on and send a direct order to them or a team order if you wish. And then the last option is place a direct order. And if you liked what Molly was writing and you wanted to place a direct order, then what you would do would be just place a direct order with her from the writer screen, and that'll take you right to the order form where it even sets the direct order for Molly Allen, and then you could go ahead and enter the order and send it out to Molly directly. And so that's all under the Writers tab at the top of your screen. And that's where you would manage the writers, view the writers, see their profiles, search writers. You can search by star level here. You can also search your writers by name on the top left search menu as well. And so that's about it when managing your writers. We've covered creating an order, adding funds, and I've showed you a bit about navigating the writer. Yeah, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have at this point. And yeah, we can go over anything that you need currently. So let's just see if we have any questions here. I can't really... Okay, so we've got a question here. It's a great question, and it says, do revisions cost money, and how many are we entitled to? Great question, and the answer is no. Revisions do not cost money. What happens at Crowd Content is once the copy or the content is returned to you, you have 3 days to request unlimited revisions to that writer at no additional charge. And there's a few ways to do that. Let's just go into an order. Hopefully there's one that we can do a revision request to. If not, oh, there is. Okay, so this order here is ready, and so you would be notified if the order is ready on your account. And so here's the content here, and this was for some tweets. Basically, you can accept the content here, and you can rate it, and this is where you would give the author some feedback. However, if you want it flushed out a little bit or tweaked, then you're going to use the Request a Revision button. And this is basically a polite way of explaining to the writer that you'd like something changed or revised, and we allow unlimited revisions for 3 days after the content is returned to you, and that's at no charge. So additionally as well, if you've got an open order with a writer, this neat little chat box will appear at the bottom right, and that will allow you to message the writer in real time when you have an open order with that writer. So as far as revisions are concerned, this is where you'd fill that out. We have another question here. Mike asked, do you have content to help improve AdWords quality scores on landing pages for PPC? Great question. In terms of what the content is going to do, you know, that's a tough one to answer, Mike. We do have several writers experienced with SEO trends and what's going on with SEO right now. To get into specifics with AdWord quality, you would really have to include a lot of that information in your instructions to the writer. In the case of SEO and PPC and technical marketing content, that'd be where either myself or if you vetted a writer, you could communicate with that writer first just to get an idea of what you're looking to do with the content or the purpose of the content. And then once you created a common language, I guess, with the writer, then they would go ahead and create that content. We don't guarantee results, but we are up to date with SEO and marketing trends and PPC trends and certainly AdWords. And so, you know, that's where we would work with you and the writer to make sure that the content, you know, you were able to use and certainly do the best we could to get your results that you wanted, Mike. We've got a few more questions coming in. What type of images do you recommend using for blog posts, realistic or stock photos? That's really up to the individual. You know, we can give advice on what we're seeing and what's trending. Mike, to be honest, for the most part, I'm seeing stock photos on most blog posts. Unless you're talking about a personal travel blog, where someone's, you know, traveling all over the place, you might see some, you know, personal photos in something like that, or if it's of a personal nature. But what I'm seeing on the various social media platforms in terms of blogging, I'm mostly seeing stock photos, and that tells me that if that many people are doing it, they're not really getting penalized. So, you know, I would almost categorize that as a best practice in terms of the images. One thing I didn't let you guys know about is we do have images here at Crowd Content that you can use your content credits to purchase. And basically that would be under the Content tab. and right beside text you can see images here, and so this will take you to our catalog where you can search by category and go through any images, view them, and then go ahead and purchase them. Every image on our website, and there are thousands, is $5. Another question coming in is it required to have a product URL when requesting a product description? The answer is no, you don't. That's just some additional information you can provide for the writer. If you want, you can use the text box to fill out any instructions that you need, Eric, to give the writer for the product descriptions. If you don't have a product URL, it may be considered a fresh description, but that's no problem at all. We handle those on a daily basis as well. So another question coming in is someone's used another network that's similar, but it wasn't, they were worried about deadlines. And so the question is, do we have issues with missed deadlines? In a word, no. What we have here is a gamified system for the writers, so they're constantly being vetted and rated by our clients and by our gamification software. If a writer were to miss 3 deadlines on our platform total, then they are removed from the platform. So we've done it in a way that keeps them engaged and keeps them active on the platform, and it makes it worth their while also to return content before it's due, because they get better ratings and better scores and have a chance to move up in things like star rating if they do well for our customers. Mike's asked if we link tweets with Hootsuite, and the answer is yes. What you can do, Mike, is you can install our app through the Hootsuite application, and that will allow you to connect our platform to your store, and you would be able to go ahead and publish the tweets directly to your account in Hootsuite. So yes, we do handle that as well. I don't see any more questions coming in. Please feel free. We've got a couple minutes left here, and so if you do have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, we're just going to give it a couple minutes here, and I think we're going to close the webinar for this week. So no more questions? All right. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this week, everybody, and please feel free to stop by next week for the webinar. And again, my name is Scott Wright. You can reach me at scott.wright@crowdcontent at any time. And if you click on your help button within your account, you will see my mugshot and contact information come up there, and I'm always happy to help with whatever you might need on the platform. So again, thank you very much for stopping by, everybody, and have a great Thursday. All right, bye-bye.